Welcome to the spookiest month of the year. October is here, and you know what? I'm ready to dive right into something that's extremely frightening to the average person. And that, my friends, is the unexpected. Now, for all of you that think that this is kind of a cop-out and the unexpected isn't that scary, well, you've never seen the college unexpected. But also, yeah, you're right. This probably is going to lean a little more towards funny than scary. Kind of like my new friend over here who is helping to bring in the new season with a little bit of joy and a little bit of spookiness. That all being said, let's go ahead and dive right on in. So, as you're walking over to the main part of campus, there's a lot of weird things that you see. There's people carrying various projects, there's people dressed all sorts of ways, from like formal suits and formal black dresses to like their pajamas that are obviously pajamas and like workout clothes. But, you know, it doesn't really matter what you're dressed in. No one's gonna give you a side glance in college. And I've kind of learned that as well. I no longer really care when people are dressed a certain way or they're holding something that looks like it could be for the next great conspiracy theorist meeting or the next space shuttle, because for all I know, it could be one of those things. And even if it is, that doesn't really affect me much. But one thing that did catch my eye as I was walking to main campus the other day was a lawn chair. Now, a lawn chair doesn't seem like it would be that weird, but the thing is, this lawn chair was on a skateboard, and it had someone on it. So essentially, here's the setup. I'm walking down the street, just kind of minding my own business, and all of a sudden I see this chair and on a skateboard just zooming down with the guy sitting in it being very like casual, like as he zooms down on his little contraption. And as it gets closer, I noticed that the chair he's sitting in is an actual lawn chair that he has put onto this skateboard. And not only is it the chair, but to make it a true lawn chair, he's actually put grass on the skateboard to just complete the look and make it absolutely beautiful. I think the fact that the skateboard was motorized also made it a 10 out of 10 experience, yes. And it also made it so that it was a little bit of summer that kind of got into my October in a very weird way. But it wasn't gonna stop there. It seemed that day, all of the things that you're supposed to do in the summer just started coming out right into this great old month of October. I walk out into the main lawn, and there's this guy who's shirtless and just holding up a sign and like yelling at people like, hey, there's gonna be a dunk tank, there's gonna be a dunk tank. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'm just gonna avoid you as fast as I can because I don't really care. And I forgot about it that day. And I just kind of went back to my life, you know, my regular weird college life. But the next day when I came onto the lawn, what did I see but an actual dunk tank, not at some party or some event or something, but just right there in the middle of our school plaza with a small line of people doing I don't even know what so that they could try and dunk this kid. It was a very surreal thing, and it's not like this was like Carnival Day or something. It was just them. They were like the only thing that was in that main area was just a guy in a dunk tank with a line, and I still have no idea what that's about. But besides weird things that you see, let's talk a little bit about the weird things you hear. Like a lot of you, I'm sure, I have a tendency of listening into the things other people are saying, especially when I'm walking alone or don't really have something else to do. So as I'm going ahead and walking down, I hear some people talking. And as I listen in, it becomes clear that one of them is talking about physics at the molecular level, and the other is just kind of listening. But all of a sudden I hear the word babies, and I'm like, what do babies have to do with like physics at the molecular level. And so I keep listening in, and I figure out that this person is essentially calling all of these molecules little babies who have like little temper tantrums that cause reactions and all of this stuff. And they're talking about it all like cutesy, like, oh, you know, sometimes they just don't have a good day and then they just kind of blow up in your face. But they can't help it. They're just little babies, you know. And I'm just over here like, what is going on? And I just walk faster and get out of that conversation as fast as I possibly can. It was a very interesting experience. Other things I've heard is people talking to each other, girls talking to each other, and just casually mentioning their husbands or whatever. And they'll just be like, oh yeah, my husband is like all of these things, and you know what makes him great? He really loves that same like little kids TV show that I love, and we really both enjoy that. And I'm just over here like, is this really what people talk about in their free time? Just husbands and kids TV shows? And I'm used to hearing the term husband in like this weird rhetorical way. It's been sort of a term that's thrown around in high school that essentially means like a celebrity you look up to or someone might be called your husband in your mind. But these people were actually talking about their husbands, like people that they lived with and were married to. And it was just bizarre. But I guess, you know, if you can bond with someone over your favorite kids TV show, then what else is there really to bond over? Like, that must be the best thing. And finally, one of the last things that I hear people talking about a lot is after practice, all these water polo girls who, some of them are graduate students that are like just about to get their like PhD and all this stuff. And they are very quick at switching between topics. You can blink and they've gone from talking about the latest water polo set to their like thesis statement on essentially how to save the world, to their work on solving cancer, and then in another second to how much they really crave some chicken nuggets for after this hard day of practice. And it's just kind of like conversational whiplash, you know, trying to follow all of these tangential threads that have suddenly gone from being like kind of mild as they are in high school, like semi-connected, to just being completely disconnected as people become more and more unique and have more and more weird, very specific stuff going on in their lives that just kind of end up clashing. But you know what the absolute weirdest thing about college is? And I'm sure that a lot of you can either support this or will also find this weird if you're not in college yet. It's the fact that teachers cuss. And they cuss a lot. Like a lot. Like enough to make sailors blush. They'll just casually be talking sometimes, and then a cuss word will just kind of get put in there. And then the students start doing it too. We'll just be having this nice casual conversation about some random English author, and then this very quiet kid will go ahead, raise his hand, and start saying something in a very monotone voice. And then just in the middle of there will be just a nice big 4-letter word that just hammers into you, and you're just like, what, wait, did you just say that? And you're unsure because he just keeps on going in that monotone as if nothing has happened. And it's just the weirdest thing. No one acknowledges it. No one talks about it. It's just random cussing at random intervals for sake of emphasis. Some people seem to just do it for conversational variety, or just because they have the freedom to all of a sudden. But regardless of the situation, it is a truly bizarre thing for sure. Especially when you've grown up your entire life in this kind of system where teachers were held at this pinnacle of like humanhood, where they were like perfect and never had any mistakes and never cussed and were never bad. And all of a sudden you have teachers that are like maybe 3 or 4 years older than you who are just cussing up a storm and are very, very human and make a lot of mistakes. And it's a very interesting thing, and in a lot of ways it's kind of refreshing, because it's like you've put these people on this pedestal for your entire life. And now you realize they're just people, just weird, flawed, bizarre people. And I think bizarre is a good way to describe college. Just a lot of bizarre things happening all at once at a lot of bizarre times, and just constantly taking you by surprise. So yeah. Let me know if anything bizarre has happened in your life recently down in the comments below. If you liked these bizarre experiences, go ahead and like. And if you like me and the stuff that I do, which, I mean, if you do, that's fantastic, go ahead and subscribe, and there will be plenty of content for you to enjoy. I very much enjoy doing these videos, and they do take some time, but it's definitely not time that's wasted. It's time that helps me kind of relax and decompress and, get some talking into some people that are behind that camera that I'm talking to right now. So anyways, I hope that you guys soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!